You're gonna.
Right here.
It's good.
It's good.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead.
So Christian, tell me about your what's going on.
Okay. So, thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
I'm sure you're familiar with 999 Alma and kind of where we're at with that. And hopefully,
Yours is going with a little water fountain, right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I guess what I was hoping to do is maybe give you some background.
Please.
What we've been doing over the past 2 years, what our original plan was the building, and then what we've done since the emergency retail ordinance kind of came into place,
Sure.
and where we're at now.
Sure.
So my partner and I bought this building. Well, it's a ground lease. So we bought the interest of the ground lease back in 2014 with the hope of putting our office in half the building. We knew anthropology would likely move out, and they have to the mall to a bigger concept. I don't know if that location
Have they moved out?
Yeah.
They moved out, yeah. They moved out a while ago. So anyway, we did it with the intention of moving our office there. We've officed here since, my partner's been here since 1986. I've been with him for about 10 years. So we thought it would be a great fit for our company. So we bought the ground lease, and shortly thereafter, anthropology moved out, and then the emergency ordinance came into place, and so we scrambled to figure out different accommodations for our office, and we're in Palo Alto still, but in the meantime, we thought, okay, well, let's market this as retail, and let's go. So we put it out to market, and we put it out. We've been marketing about 21 months now, and we put it out to market at an unpriced amount, and just to bring all offers. And,
Sure. How much space is it?
It's roughly 10,000 feet.
The entire structure, or just a portion that? You guys want to
The whole building is vacant. So anyway, 10,000 feet, and we've been trying to get someone interested, and
How long is your ground lease?
80 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
it's
Okay.
and this is, I don't want to get too much into how much that payment is, or if it's a fixed or whatever, but it's been, we're just trying to lease it. And I've been to several city council members to try, or meetings, we try to get a school. School was very interested, but if I could have done a deal with them right away, I think we would have gotten it done, but because it took 9 months or whatever they get, that voted on.
Which school is it?
So we, alt school was interested,
Oh, that's cool.
but they've since changed their plans, which is a bummer, because we were kind of going down that road, and every city council meeting was that we attended, please let us just put a school, because we have this tenant that's ready to go.
Yeah.
And now the tenant, and then it just took too long, plans changed, and things move fast in
Sure.
the kind of tech world, and now we went back to ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
So now where we're at now is there's finally a waiver process in place, and we've gone through, and I applied for a waiver July 6th. So July, September. So it's now been 3 months. And I think the biggest thing is I've been marketing for 2 years. Now I've applied for this waiver. It's been 3 months. Still, I'm tentatively trying to get on the city council calendar to at least be heard.
I haven't seen this at all.
I
On the calendar, right?
Well, I hope. So they emailed me. I've been working with John to try to get on. He emailed me a couple dates. He said October 10th. No. I'm sorry. October 10th or November 11th. Those 2 dates.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's the time condition. 11.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought it was city council meeting. Is that not?
On the 10th we could do. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's the 10th.
There's a 10th. There's a 10th meeting on the 10th.
So I don't think I'm on. I'm on the calendar, but I think my biggest concern is every day we keep it vacant is a huge cost. I mean,
I can only imagine.
There's a thought that all developers can sit on a building for a year or two, and truthfully, my partner probably could. When we bought it, I thought, well, okay, this is going to be our office. I'm partners with them, so I really stretched to make it work. And then we thought, well, worst case scenario, even if let's say our office isn't there in 10 years, can we lease a building in Palo Alto under the SOFA 2 zoning? We said, yeah.
Yeah.
And now I never thought I'd own a building in Palo Alto that couldn't be leased.
Yeah, and have you gotten people interested who were besides art school that wanted
So,
to lease it to retail?
we're getting the feedback from our brokers are, of course, everyone wants office, right? That's understandable. The retail uses, we've had some restaurants that have asked, had some fitness centers that have asked, but as far as retail, we tried to get Samsung, I don't know how much of this is public information on, but Samsung we were working with for a long time. They ended up, I don't know if they ended up in the mall, but it ended up not being the right fit. We've talked to 2 or 3 other retailers, but we've yet to receive an offer, which at an unmarked price, and the brokers are saying, just give us an offer.
Yeah.
And so that's the background. And now we've even put it on the market to sell.
The ground lease.
Yeah, to sell the interest in the ground lease, which just maybe there's an owner user out there where it does make sense. And the interested parties that we've talked to for those have been like dental offices. I've had a couple dental groups that have been interested. I think one restaurant user. That's it. So I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck with this building. Don't know what to do. I've never really met with council members before. I didn't think I needed to do any lobbying because I bought it under the SOFA 2 zoning. I thought, great, worst case scenario, this is what we'll do. Best case scenario.
Well, there's another vacant building, the Northface building.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like on the other side.
Yeah. They're running into the same issues, and I know, those guys. I've asked them what they're doing. They're kind of see if they can give me any advice. I'm kind of in the same boat. So I've applied. So for the waiver, I've applied for up to 5,000. The SOFA 2 zoning allows for up to 5,000 feet of office. I've applied for that. And the purpose is hopefully if I can at least rent half of the building, even if it's the half that doesn't front Alma, I can have a size that's more. Some of the feedback from the retailers was, hey, 10,000 feet is just way too big. We don't need a 10,000 foot space. So hopefully, if I could they all want the frontage along Alma. No one wants to be in the back alley. So even if I was able to lease the back space for either, and eventually move my office in there, I could sell the front for retail. Granted, I've been marketing 2 years. I don't know who I'm going to do it, who I'm going to market it to, but
why didn't the restaurants take it?
It's not allowed.
Oh,
And it's not a retail
I see.
use. So there's got to be a mutually beneficial thing for the community, and I just
Has a waiver been approved, or is it still pending?
it's been pending. So the main concern is if I go through this waiver. So I have a dental group that approached me saying, I'm interested in leasing and or buying your building because I can't do anything with it. And I said, well, the process is going to take 6 months to even find out if you can even put your office in there. And when
Does it really take 6 months?
So it's been 3 months.
No, well, I guess to me it should be, you should go to walk-in development center. It should be pretty clear, yes or no, can you do it or not?
Right.
It's not like that.
So the waiver provision, the way it works is you put together
with waiver.
with the waiver because it's a retail use.
Okay.
So I have one use or the retail-like uses, and if it doesn't fall into that category,
we can't. Okay, wait. So you're saying that you're not sure if the dental use is a retail use?
it's not. It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Then what are you waiting for in terms of?
So the waiver is anything out if you can demonstrate to the planning department that and they have all these boxes to check. One of these is like this map. Okay, it says show all the surrounding uses. So here's our use here.
Yeah.
This is ground floor office with residential, or ground floor residential with office on top. Office, our building, this building is currently vacant. Office, and then it's a totally different residential zoning. And then going up, it's office, and then you kind of have, you can see auto repair, storage, There's like a junkyard up here. This is a dental office. So we have all these surrounding uses, and the purpose of this is hopefully to demonstrate, okay, maybe this isn't the best retail. It's not like there's retail around. We're kind of an island. So that's one thing.
What was this before?
That was Addison Antiques.
What happened with them?
They just, I don't know. They just went. About 2 years ago, they vacated. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So these both used to be retail, and now they're kind of vacant.
Yeah. And I think he's working with a preschool. I don't know if it's done or what, but I know that was that's a retail-like use. So anyway, if a retail-like use doesn't work, the waiver's supposed to be there for buildings. I mean, I'm hoping, like mine, that I can't lease. And you have a lot more experience in the planning commission and council. I mean, obviously, you've been doing it for a long time. But do you have any direction for me on what you think would be a win-win
Well, first of all,
situation?
I feel your pain. I mean, it's kind of sucks, right? That it seems like an enormous burden, right? I definitely understand that, and I know that we have a lot of retail vacancies, right? We have this one. There's the North Face. My last meeting, we were just talking about Cal Ave, and the Radio Shack's been vacant 3 years.
Right.
So, so not good. It's not good for the community. It's not good for the landlord, obviously. Not good for the community as well because of the fact that, there's nothing there, right? There's nothing there that can provide services, right? So not good. And so, in terms of this waiver, how much longer are you told that you have to wait?
So I applied July 6th. Jonathan laid me a couple of dates on the calendar that he was trying to accommodate. I think part of it is they're trying to get precedence or guidance from the council on, they're working on a couple other buildings, right? And again, I think that makes, what I told Jonathan is, I said, I get that you kind of want to see which direction the council goes before you start helping these other projects, but I mean, the per day cost is just tremendous in 6 months or 3 months or 2 months to even wait to find out who I can even market it to. So a dental office, if they come in every day and say, can I put a dental office here? And I say, okay, I'm going to come back to you in 3 months. They're going to be gone. They're going to find a new place.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of in a tough spot with the waiver, how the process is right now.
Yeah. It sounds like you're trying though. It sounds like you're trying at any rate, which is good. I mean, looking at the map here, it is, if this property doesn't become retail, right? It becomes a preschool. Although preschool, that can help support retail, right? A certain type of retail.
Yeah, and the ways they can do it is because they have all the way that preschools are.
Where's parking for this?
So we have 15 stalls that we leased.
I see.
That go with this.
Oh, I see.
So
okay.
we have all the front stalls right here.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. So this is parking lots for this.
Yes. Half of this parking lot.
Okay. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would say that the things why the city wants retail is a couple of reasons, right? One reason is because we want to provide community benefits. Like you see all this residential, right? So this could provide some sort of services.
Right.
And the second reason is the city makes money from retail, right? So, and if this becomes office, we don't
get the revenue.
We don't get revenue, right? So those are kind of like the things like the motivations for having retail here. What I wonder is if this became part of office, right? Whether, because this was supposed to be retail, we would have got some sort of sales tax from it. Whether that could be mitigated by having some sort of, usually there's no tax right now on office, right? But
Do you get tax from like dental offices
I don't know
or
actually.
medical
I
offices?
suspect not. I don't. I mean, I'm just trying to think of my own
Right.
personal.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, I mean, like those are the two motivators for retail, right? One
Right.
is providing services, and the second one is the revenue, right? And the city can certainly use revenue. So, I don't know. That's something I've been thinking about, right? Is that something that this has never been discussed in council? I have no idea whether my colleagues would agree with that or not. But that might take away one issue. It's not to take away the issue of services, right? Because that's also a benefit, right? So, but you're looking, and what's the conditions for the waiver? Like, how do you know, like, for the waiver, how does that get approved or not? What's the basis of that?
Yeah. So it gets approved by it's a vote by the council. So what they do is they send it to planning. I think just the planning either approves, supports it or doesn't support it, and then it goes to the consent calendar.
Oh, the planning commission.
Yeah,
That's
and
planning
then
commission, okay.
I thought it was council. Is it plan? It's just planning commission.
I don't know.
So-
I actually haven't seen this before.
Okay, so then they vote. I thought it was city council, and then city council votes, and three members. If 3 members vote that they want it to go to a public meeting, then it gets kicked off the consent calendar and goes to a city council meeting so that they can get public input.
Okay.
So that's kind of the hurdle.
Okay.
But from what I know about different projects, like the Pet Food Depot project is one of them. I know that went in for approval to the consent calendar, and it got kicked out. There were, I think, 4 votes that said that they needed to take it to council.
Okay.
So that's why I think that like Jonathan Late and those guys are wondering, well, what's going to happen with that? But in the meantime, I'm just kind of waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: if you know what the sales tax this generated before, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Okay. So if let's say you guys just paid that sales tax, right? So you
Okay.
can mitigate that issue, and then the other half was some sort of community serving business, like a restaurant or something, right? Where it kind of mitigates the other one. Business-wise, would that be viable? Is that something that would be?
What I guess I just have to figure out. I'm not sure what the sales tax
Oh,
revenue. So I can figure out the sales tax revenue, but
Because those are the two things we get from retail, right? That
right.
if this property suddenly doesn't have to become retail, I think those are the things that's how you would mitigate it, right?
Right.
It would have to be some. So we'll have it be office,
Right.
which hopefully we'll be able to pay that sales tax, but then the other front, maybe hopefully it could be retail or something, or some sort of community serving business.
That could be viable right now. Even so, if we leased most of this as office, if we got 5,000 feet of office and had a front 5,000 feet to lease as retail, I think that it doesn't quite cover our bills still as far as mortgages and taxes, insurance, and all that. But what it does do is it would allow me to sit on this vacancy as long as it took. That's one thing.
Well, I think the idea would be not to have this thing vacant. Nobody benefits when the property's vacant, right?
Mhm.
I think we want these properties to be leased.
Okay.
That's, at least I would assume so.
Right.
So the question is, how do we enable that to happen?
We want to stop live video if you want to share some numbers.
It's up to
Yeah,
you.
sure.